Okay, today's notes, we're going to talk about the cell cycle. So go ahead and write down cell growth and division. That is your heading for today. Cell growth and division. This is chapter 3, so start a new page. Maybe write chapter 3 at the top if you like. Okay. So, you guys are all growing right now. You guys are all at the age of rapid growth. There are a couple times during life where you grow like crazy. One is the first year of life, and the other is around puberty. And most of you guys are somewhere in that whole business. So, how do we grow? Some cells are going to grow larger. By the way, write this down. Some cells will grow larger. So you have cells in your body that are just going to basically plump up, going to get bigger. You are also going to add cells. Most of your growing is because your cells are dividing and making more cells. So, if over the last few months you grew 3 inches, what has happened is your body has stacked cells up 3 inches higher than it was before. So your leg bones got longer. They stacked cells higher and got longer. Okay, your vertebrae in your back and neck got longer. So it's stacked up cells. It's kind of like if you're stacking up a pile of rocks. Each rock would be the cell. You need to stack it higher to get a bigger pile. That's what's happening to you. You're stacking cells up higher. So how do we grow? Cells can get larger, and we can add cells. I thought this was kind of cool, and maybe jot this down. The human brain never divides. The human brain cells are never going to divide after birth. So when you are in your mom's uterus and you're growing, your brain is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You're getting more and more cells. But once you're born, you have as many brain cells as you're ever going to have. The only thing is now they're just going to get bigger. Okay, so you guys have probably heard about getting concussions, whether it's in football or a car wreck or whatever. Okay, concussions, it's a huge deal because you are damaging brain cells. Your brain is basically slamming, jolting against your skull, and you're damaging brain cells that can't fix themselves. Okay, if I cut my finger, if I cut the skin on my finger is going to make more skin cells and patch the hole, and maybe I have a little scar there or whatever. Okay, but it's fixed. I can make more cells. Your brain cannot. So you maybe have heard someone talk about, I'm burning brain cells, or people who do drugs are killing brain cells. Okay, basically the idea is that you only have so many when you were born, and you can't get them back. Go ahead and write this down. Cells that divide go through a process called the cell cycle. Cells that divide go through a process called the cell cycle. And here is the cell cycle. And you don't need to write anything. But mitosis is cell division, okay? So in mitosis, a cell is going to split from 1 to 2 cells. So let's say we're a brand new cell. We just split from another one. We are a brand new cell. Our life is going to consist of getting bigger, 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 bigger. Then getting ready to divide, ready to divide, ready to divide, and then splitting. So if I had one cell, bigger, 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 ready to divide, split. Now I have 2. If both of them get bigger, 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 ready to divide, split, now I have 4, and so on. Okay? So if you broke a bone or you have a bruise or whatever, that's what's happening. That's why things heal. So that is the cell cycle. We'll go through this a little bit more here in the future. You don't need to worry about that. Why do cells divide? Go ahead and write this down. Reasons that cells divide. And we kind of already went through some of these with my examples. So why do cells divide? The first one, to replace dead cells. To replace dead cells. Cells are constantly being worn out. You're kind of like a car, okay? Parts are going to wear out. At times you're going to need new tires or a new battery or a new starter or something like that. You're going to need to fix things and you replace parts. Well, that's what your body does. So you have skin cells that are dying, okay, and you're going to scratch them off. If you have dandruff or something, those are dead scalp skin cells from your head. And they're shutting off, they are dead, and there are new ones underneath ready to replace. Your red blood cells will travel around your body. I believe it's for about 2 weeks before they are worn out and your body makes new ones. Your bone cells. I read somewhere that said about every 2 years you have a brand new skeleton, which means in 2 years all of your bone cells are replaced. They die and new ones are replacing them. So to replace dead cells. 2 is to heal injuries, cuts, and bruises. Go ahead and write this. To heal. Okay, you get a scrape. It's not just going to stay a bloody scrape forever, it's going to heal. You're going to get more skin cells that's going to patch it up. You break your arm. Your body's going to make more bone cells to patch that up. So to heal. 3rd one is to grow. As you get taller and bigger, and your feet get bigger and your arms get longer and all that stuff, you're adding cells. If over the past few months I've gained 10 pounds, I've gained 10 pounds worth of fat cells. Let's say I just ate way too much, too many chips and Mountain Dew. I'm adding cells, adding fat cells. And then to produce identical cells, which is something we'll get into in the future. So those are the reasons that cells copy themselves, that reproduce. Go ahead and write this down. The process of cell division is called mitosis, and I would underline mitosis. So taking one skin cell and having it copy itself and making 2 skin cells would be mitosis. We will go through all of the steps of mitosis this week. So, nothing to write here, but I just took an example, the liver cell. Okay, if I have a brand new liver cell, for 9 hours, it's going to get bigger, bigger, bigger. And for 11 hours, it's going to copy itself. And then for 1 hour, it's going to split into 2. And then those 2 for 9 hours get bigger. And then 11 hours copy itself, and then split. The whole process takes just under a day for a liver cell. All right, we will stop there.